Hello, this is Manesh Patel from the EIA Capital Group. This is November 28, 2010. This is a weekly Ichimoku analysis where we go for the futures market, where we cover everything from gold, corn, crude oil, natural gas, soybeans, bonds, and so forth. Okay, this is a normal disclaimer. This is for educational use only. All charts are either in Thinkorswim, TradeStation, or FreeStockCharts.com. Here are my contact details. Let us know if you'd like to get us more feedback on some other products that you want to see. You can follow us on Ichimoku Trading under Twitter. Also, the heat map will be available on the website probably in about a week or two. Okay, so let's go straight and jump straight into the heat map. Remember, on the heat map, the way we have our rating system here, here's all the commodity futures here at the bottom. The way the rating is basically 5 to 8 being bullish, -5 to -8 being bearish. And if you look here, D5 is basically the daily rating from 5 days ago. This is the daily rating today, which is D0. W1 is the weekly rating from 1 week ago, and W0 is the weekly rating today. So if you look here, basically wheat is in conflict right now because you're looking at D0 and W0. You still don't see anything here. That's weak. Coffee's weak. There's nothing consistent right now as far as commodity futures are going. If you notice, the weeklies are still very strong. They're weakening, but the dailies basically are in conflict. If you notice that, everything seems like it's in a pullback phase. If you look at gold, gold is still standing where it was a week ago as far as daily and the weekly is concerned. Silver, if you know, silver is stronger now than it was, so silver is definitely going up higher than gold right now. And if you look at platinum, platinum's going weak. So you know, if you're doing any pairs trading where you're long either gold or silver and then short platinum, you're doing really good right now. Crude oil, if you look at crude oil, there's conflict there. And if you look at heating oil, there's conflict there, and natural gas too. So there's nothing, you know, you got a lot of conflict there. Let's go through the charts and start flipping through charts as we normally do every week and start going through the charts. We got a lot to cover, so let's just flip through all this stuff very fast. Cocoa futures, you can see the consolidating. We got alert here because we think it's going to go to the downside. We got alert down there, so we'll wait and see what happens there. But we really think it's got more to the downside than the top side. Crude oil, this is still bullish. I know a lot of people saying, well, you know what, we've been going down. Nope, if you look at the charts, we're still bullish, and we still think this thing's going to go all the way to 91. Remember, this poked its head out of the cloud, got the Chicago coming out. We're in open space now, consolidated. We kind of tested this resistance level, broke for a little, and now we pull back, and now we're going to take another run for that resistance level. But I have a feeling that this time we're going to break it and go higher. But we really are predicting this thing to go up to 90.27 at least, either before the end of this year or a little into next year. If you look at cotton, we're still in the pullback phase. It's pulling back. If you look last week, it pulled back. It basically has closed below the Cajunson, so we're in a major pullback now. We gotta wait to see exactly what's going to happen with that to enter again to the top side. If you look at dollar index futures here, we're basically in a pullback because we're between the Tinkinson and the Cajunson. We've got alert here at the top bottom of this cloud, and then we'll place alert down at the bottom too. Okay. Nothing, no trade there at all because we're just sitting there waiting. Feeder cattle, if you look at feeder cattle, basically going to the top side. We had alert at the top side, it broke through it. So feeder cattle looks like it's about to start trending to the top side now. Okay. Lean hogs, if you look at lean hogs, we pulled back. We're not bullish at all. We're still, you know, we expected it to bounce off the bottom of the cloud, which it did. We expected to go to the Cajunson, which it did. It went through it. It's closed above it. Now we gotta wait and see what happens. But you know, this thing, if it breaks through here at 65.33, this thing's gonna start a trend to the downside for sure. But we gotta wait and see what happens on that. Copper futures. If you look at copper futures, we're basically in a pullback because we're between the Tinkinson and the Cajunson. Okay. Heating oil. If you look at heating oil, still very strong. If you look at the weekly time frame is concerned, remember this is a trade that we've been talking about for a while now. It broke out here, it pulled back, now it's still going up very strong. But this, to us, we believe this is going to break out, and that's actually going to come here to about 2.6533 eventually. But it may get there slowly, but if I think that there's going to be a breakout day very soon coming up for heating oil. Look at coffee. Coffee's in a minor pullback. It's basically just sitting there consolidating up at this top range right here on the daily is concerned. Lumber, If you look at lumber, basically it pulled back. It pulled back drastically to a point it flipped Tinkins and Cajuns. So this basically is in conflict now on the weekly time frame. Live cattle, if you look at live cattle, it's broken to the top side. This thing is now starting a trend to the top side, and it looks like it wants to sit there, and either it's going to stop here or it's going to sit there and try to get here to the top side of 109.44. My guess is it's going to try to probably sit there and move up another 3 points and get to the top, and then the question is what's going to happen there. Natural gas, look at natural gas, it's been consolidating. It did a double bottom on a weekly time frame, and now starting to make a move to the top side. We're waiting for natural gas to get to about 490 here, then it's going to pull back and then take off and break that level. So if it gets to 490, we wait for a pullback, and then if it breaks 522, we're definitely getting in because that's a long-term trend going to the top side. Orange juice is basically consolidating. Nothing much going on, as you could see from our alerts. Platinum, remember this is the weaker of all the metals. If you look at platinum, it's pretty much just hanging around at the Cajun Sin. The Chicago is now clear, so if this thing's going to sit there and start a bullish trend, this is the time right now. But it's definitely got to break 1710 to the top side before we could even start looking at that, because it's got to go above the Tinkinson. Let's see. We did crude oil. Let's do gasoline. Gasoline basically hovering around. This thing's got a break here, 2.25. If it breaks 2.25, definitely going to start a trend going to all the way to 2.44 and possibly breaking that too. So that looks good if it could break those levels. Sugar, it's done a pullback, minor pullback because it didn't get all the way to the Cajun Sin. We got to wait and see what happens. That's why we got alert there. But this could start trending again. Silver has been strong compared to gold or anything right now, and if you look, basically it's above the Tinkinson, and Tinkinson's still pointing up, and he's still looking at very looking good there. Let's go look at mini gold futures. If you look at mini gold futures, we're very close to the Tinkinson, so you're kind of waiting there. Let's go to the daily. So we've been talking about this even on the radio show. If you notice the daily, the Tinkinson Cajunson are flipped. That's not good at all. So that's why we kind of wanted a pullback here. We got our pullback that we've been waiting for, where it kind of got to 1350 last week, Friday, which is exactly where we wanted it to do. Now what we need to do is see momentum to break to the top side. So if we get momentum to the top side, it's going to flip this Tinkinson Cajunson. So we definitely sitting there waiting for this level of 1383 to the break to the top side. If we get it, then we're definitely going to get into that. 30-year Treasury bonds, look at the trends to the downside. Definitely looks weak and looks like it's going down to the bottom. Okay, corn. If you look at corn, it's conflicts because of all the time frames going on. Whoops, this is daily. Let's go look at the weekly. Weekly, daily looks in conflict, but look at the weekly. Still bullish, as you can see. Okay, and lastly, soybean oil is still bullish. So you have that, and actually we got to do one more wheat. And if you look at wheat looks like it's just consolidating right here at the Cajun Sin. A little more push up, this thing's going to break to the top side and continue on this trend. We really are bullish on wheat. We want to wait to basically sit there and break to the top side. So we're waiting for it to break to 724 and go higher. Okay, so this is our weekly Ichimoku analysis for the futures market. If you have any questions, please post it. Have a good week trading. Thank you.